Hello, everybody. 'Tis me, the feline from a galaxy far, far. I'm right behind you. Hello, Paris. I mean, Luke Skywalker is a Star Wars joke. I'm talking about Book of Boba Fett, which, truth be told, I didn't finish. Well, I did finish it in a manner of speaking. I watched the first about 3 or 4 episodes, got incredibly bored, stopped watching, found out later the last 3 episodes of the show are actually Mandalorian Season 2.5. So I went back, I watched a recap, some recap videos about what I missed, and then watched the last 3 episodes to be caught up for the show I actually was enjoying when it was airing. So, Book of Boba Fett is not very good. Big shock, I know. The character with no development in the movies, who lived in the pop culture based solely on how cool he looked, has nothing to offer when you give him his own TV show. I'm being unfair, but I'm being unfair for the point of making comedy. It's a gag. It's not really the character's fault, it's the fact that these creators basically made the more interesting, better Boba Fett with The Mandalorian. Because they took a character with basically nothing to them, because they were a blank slate. Just made a different one in silver, gave it a Baby Yoda, and just did kind of a Seven Samurai, Lone Wolf and Cub routine with him, and it worked perfectly fine. It was entertaining, it was pretty good. They made a second season, and they didn't know what to do with the plot particularly, so they kind of got to a point, and we'll get to that in a minute, because that kind of affects how this series ends. And then they said, hey, why don't we do a series of the other one, the one that was there before, the Boba Fett dude, right? We had him cameo briefly in season 2. Let's give him a show, and they did, and they made him boring. They made him very boring. As it turns out, Boba Fett, the famous bounty hunter asshole who froze Harrison Ford in carbonite for a few years, and had comic books and video games, and I think, and tons of old extended universe books that don't count anymore, and all about him. Turns out he was a nice guy. He just wanted to be a gangster. He wanted to be a nice guy, Damio gangster dude. He's the nicest gangster who ever lived. I hate this characterization of him. So yeah, turns out... So we'll get the basic out of the way. Boba Fett in the original movies. A douche. Died like an idiot. Eaten by a stand vagina monster. Gone. Dead. Finito. Finished. Pop culture and the fan base said, nah, we like him. We don't want him dead anymore. And thus, years of fan revival, it became canon via the extended universe stuff. Changed his character, made him into what everyone wanted him to be, versus what was actually in the films. Fast forward to Disney owning it and deciding to make this series, and they decide, hey, let's not use decades of material that we could have made something fun and interesting out of. Let's do our own thing, which can work. It doesn't. So that gets out of the Sarlacc, which is pretty much your requirement for your character, your lead not be inside a sand monster's gut for the entire season. That's kind of that'd be a bit of a enclosed location kind of show. Crawls out, gets rescued and brought back to health by Tusken Raiders, which that part could be interesting. It wasn't bad. It wasn't that interesting either. The basic Tuskens are boring. They're just sand people. That's their name. They're not that interesting. They're just kind of like, well, they're there. Old Republic games gave them a lot of cool backstory that no one ever wants to touch past that usually. This didn't. So Boba Fett's hanging out with kind of boring character with boring, boring but cool-looking characters, and he's a boring but cool-looking character himself. The actor they brought back from who played Django is back to play his own clone's son, which is fine. He can be a good actor, but he does nothing to work with, and he clearly does not want to be here. He looks bloated, he looks tired. He spends half the show in a healing tank. I feel like the actor was like, write me back in the tank. I don't want to do this scene. But Boba, you're the star. Back in the tank, please. Please. We'll change. You can change my costume again to get another 3 action figures made. Okay, we'll put you back in the tank. Thank you. And that's kind of the show. So Boba, shit happens with the Tuskens. They die. We catch up to where we were with Mandalorian, where he was hanging out on Tatooine, because everything's on Tatooine, because fucking hell, that planet's everything in the center of the universe there. And his armor got found by a different dude. An adventure happened. He was involved. Eventually, he got his shit back. And that season, Mandalorian ended with him showing up at Jabba's palace, killing poor Bib, who went all this time and trouble to take over Jabba's shit, and got really fat, and then he immediately gets shot dead. Thus ends the book of Bib Fortua. I think his name, or was. Who cares? He's dead. And Boba sat on his throne. Everyone went, ooh, oh, they're going to do a Boba Fett show. Oh, cool. And we get the actual show, and they're like, oh. So how's Mando Season 3? I think that's starting up soon, or has started at this point. Yeah, so Boba, for some reason, wants to be a gangster and take over Jabba's shit. Which, I can oppose as a plot. That's fine. Like, you would assume this character would want power, would want to become a big, important dude instead of just a cheap bounty hunter. Well, not cheap, but you would expect being a mob boss would be a step up from bounty hunter. I think that's usually how this kind of thing works. Like, you start from the bottom, you work your way to the top, you become Scarface, you swim in cocaine, and then you get shot dead by the DEA. I might be missing a few steps. How's Sopranos end? Anyways. But yeah, so Boba Fett wants to be mob boss, the Daimyo. And he just waltzes in, he comes in, takes Jabba's shit, and said, I'm the boss now. Everyone else is like, you are? I am. Credentials? I took Jabba's shit, and I've hired these pigmen. Well, those are pigmen, and they are shirtless. The makeup don't look very good on them. What the hell? You got this Asian lady that you saved from Mandalorian Season 2 that you saved, and I guess she likes you and works for you now. She's the only competent person in the show, so good thing she's there, because your ass don't know what you're doing. There's very much a feel of Boba Fett don't know what he's doing. He's trying these things, like, he feels like he has nothing better to do or no better ideas for himself. He's like, well, I'm here. I guess I'll make myself mob boss. Oh, I'm not good at this. I'm gonna try harder. Oh, I'm really not good at this. Oh, everyone's betraying me. Oh, they're trying to kill me. Ah, crap. And that's kind of our season. Boba Fett does a thing. There's pushback. He fails miserably at it. Circumstances occur to where he's either helped by more competent characters, or just the plot happens to leave him alive and still in power. It's not very interesting. And they keep setting up fun ideas for villains, like here's a pair of Jabba slugs. They're twins. They're a couple, or siblings, I can't tell. It was kind of weird. They're kind of fun, and they're out. Oh, here's some stuff with a syndicate, and they're boring. Hell, now what? Here's a Power Rangers cyborg biker gang. Oh, you're actually in the show. You're serious. Oh, no. Oh, crap. And I'm out. And I come back in for the other thing. So now I'm going to stop talking about Boba Fett because he's boring. Now we're talking about Mandalorian. Mandalorian Season 2.5, which is the back end of this Boba Fett, which you failed as a writing team, and you failed your main your character when you decide to go back and use the more interesting one and just jettison your entire show for the purposes of being a backdoor couple episodes for the better, more interesting show. which I guess credit for realizing the ship was sinking, I guess. You might want to have realized that during the writing stages before you put cameras out, but here, at least people who are writing the Mandalorian stuff still have an idea of what they're doing, kinda. Like, hey, here's Mando. He's missing his Muppet child. He's like, I miss my Muppet son. Hey, I'm gonna go hang out here with the Mandalorians who are living under Coruscant for some reason. They're kind of dicks. They look cool, but they're kind of dicks. Like, oh, they asked me about if I took my helmet off. Yeah, I kind of did several times now, and I've been exiled. Great. Glad I went down here and hung out with you guys. Real pals and chums, since there's only like 3 of us in our sect now. And or about 2, because I don't count, I guess. Jackasses. Then he goes back to Tatooine, and he flies commercial space air, which is funny as hell. I like Star Wars when it's being stupid. Like, oh, commercial air flying economy sucks in Star Wars land too. That's good to know. That's a hell of a layover. You got 50 parsecs over in on Naboo or something before you get to Tatooine. But yeah, so he gets back to Tatooine because of course he goes to Tatooine. Of course he does. And he goes to our shipbuilding lady because I guess Mos Eisley has one shipyard, or at least one shipyard that will deal with him. And she's wearing out her welcome. Kind of funny the first time. Not so much the second time. I stopped caring the third time, and now you're annoying me, lady. I don't want you back for the next season. Although you're already in the trailers. I know you're back. So he hangs out with comic relief shipbuilder lady. Shenanigans happen. They make a new ship. It's a Naboo starfighter ship, which, I guess that's. I didn't mind the Razor Crest. It made sense for him being a bounty hunter. Like, you need storage for bounties and stuff. It was ugly, but it was functional. A Naboo starfighter with an extra little kid seat in the back. He'll sell another toy, I guess. I don't think it makes much sense for him to have this thing, but whatever. It's fine. Whatever. I would rather have something new instead of rebuilding the Razor Crest, I guess. And then he's like, I'm gonna go visit my Muppet son on space training planet. That's not the one from the new trilogy, but a different one, I think. I forget. I don't care. He goes there, and Ahsoka's here. Like, hi, Ahsoka. Oh, right, you were in the second season of Mandalorian. I guess you're just hanging out with Luke Skywalker on this Jedi planet. You don't seem to be helping him that much. You mostly seem to be standing around and giving him cryptic advice or just swatting. I can't tell. Like, I know you're a Jedi, or at least a former Jedi, and he's trying to make a Jedi temple. Do you count? Like, are you helping him exactly? I don't know. This feels... Well, one, you're clearly waiting for your series, which, yeah, though you got your own series, that's fine. I guess you got to kill time until they're ready for you on stage. But this feels like you're just hanging out because you have nothing better to do. Like, don't you have, like, family or relations, or maybe go find what's happened to the Rebels crew, something? Anything other than just hanging out and watching Luke try to build a house, make his robots build a house, or a temple? Okay. No wonder Luke got weird. And then Mando shows up and he's like, hey, can I see my Muppet son? And she's like, probably better if you didn't, because he's gonna immediately no longer want to train with Luke. And he's like, can you give him this gift? I melted that cool spear and made baby chainmail. Can you give it to him? She's like, fine, I'll give your damn baby armor to your damn Muppet child. Jesus Christ! I wish I would have been left dead and that Darth Vader had killed me, and then they had brought me back with time travel. Star Wars is stupid. And then, I keep repeating myself. CGI Luke shows up, and he does look better than last time we saw him. The face looks better. It looks like Mark Hamill. There's still some creepiness happening, but it looks competent now instead of, like, embarrassing. so there's that, and they are clearly showing off by having him in brightly lit environments and talking more. So that's fine. I still think they should just just bite the bullet and recast him at this point. Mark Hamill doesn't care anymore. He's also old. He doesn't care anymore. You have no reason not to recast him beyond, and you feel like this probably would be cheaper to recast him instead of wasting millions of dollars every second that he's on screen. I know you can. Doesn't mean you should. Honestly, you have the guy who plays Winter Soldier. He looks a bit like Mark Hamill, truth be told. You have him under contract for Marvel anyways. I don't think the guy would mind the idea of playing Luke Skywalker instead of just being Bucky whenever you decide to pull him out of the closet. I think he'd be down. Make an offer. People will be fine with that. Everyone likes Bucky. He's a good actor. Yeah, I'm sure he would like more work. Anywho, Luke's entire point here is like, listen, I'm going to do some training with this not Yoda, and clearly I am working some stuff out personally by training this child that looks like my dead Muppet master. And then this all builds up to Muppet. Here's a lightsaber, or you can have your robot father, your Mandalorian daddy's baby chainmail. The one you choose will determine if I bother training your ass anymore. Cut immediately to R2 dumping the kid off on Tatooine. Damn, Luke. You had R2 drop him off. You couldn't even bring him yourself? You're not going to hand the kid over to the Mandalorian and let him see his kid is fine, explain the situation to him. You know, you're a Jedi. That Baby Yoda is still kind of important, I would say, and could potentially get, baby napped or killed or whatever. You're just going to shove him in the X-Wing and have R2 drop him off. I think Kylo is right. Anyways. So, Baby Yoda's dropped off with Comic Relief Lady. And we move on to remembering, oh right, this show we call Boba Fett, or Book of Boba Fett. It only took, we had a multiple episode sabbatical to be with the more interesting characters. But yeah, so now Boba Fett's back involved, and he is trying to cement his control and stop the bad syndicate from selling drugs or whatever the hell they were doing. You're a mob boss. You do realize that controlling a drug trade would be good for a mob boss, right? You understand how illegal activities and mob-type organizations work, right? Oh, you're just being a nice guy still, huh? And hoping it will work out. It will work out because it's a TV show and your name's on the title. And it's not the kind of show that's going to kill the main character off. Yet. Yeah. So, Mandalorian shows up, and he talks about it, he's like, hey, and Boba's like, hey, you owe me a solid. Can you help me become take over, become mob man, boss dude? And Mandalorian's like, I guess? I have other things I could be doing, I suppose. Well, actually, no, I don't. No, I had nothing better to do. Fine, whatever, I'll help your stupid ass. And he does. Also, Cad Bane shows up, and he's kind of cool. And they set up that him and Boba Fett know each other, I guess. I didn't watch much Clone Wars, so I forgot if he actually did know him or not from there. Don't correct me, I don't care. So, some stuff there, and we get to basically the only thing of note with this stuff involving Boba Fett at this point is big fight scenes, running around Tatooine, shooting it up. Get some battle droids, do some silly shit. And the only reason that this part of it's kind of cool, Boba Fett does one fun-night thing, rides his pet Rancor around Mos Eisley and kills a bunch of people with it. It's pretty funny, and I had weirdly warm memories of that terrible Connect game for Xbox where you played a Rancor by going at things and mash buildings and ate people. I kind of wanted Han Solo to show up and go and start singing and dancing to a song at this point in the background while Boba Fett's killing people with the Rancor. That would have been funny. That would have given me warm feels in my cold dead heart. Yeah, and so Mando's doing that, Boba Fett's doing that. Mando's also running around. Him and Baby Yoda get reunited in this very much a case of like, oh, you're here. How the sweet fuck did you get here, Baby Yoda? Baby Yoda's like, meh. We're gonna have a long talk, but we're in the middle of a fight scene, so to action. And still, if it happens, Boba Fett has a fight with Cad and sticks him and appears to kill him with his the big stick. Okay, kind of underwhelming, but he might not. But it's not a confirmed kill because, of course, it's not. They have to make sure they can bring him back if the audience response was good, which it was. So he'll probably be back and be fine. Maybe he'll have another tube coming out of his chest into his face. That'd be funny. And stuff resolves, and Boba Fett is now the daimyo of Mos Eisley, and it's like, you suck, Boba Fett. You're boring. You are boring, man. You are a boring man with a cool helmet. But now there's another cool man with a cool helmet, and he's more interesting than you are. You have no reason to exist, Boba Fett. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. And then Mando flies off to season 3 with his Baby Yoda in the little baby seat in the back of the ship. And I felt like I wasted a good chunk of my time. Stuff with Mandalorian's fine, because like I'm already in for another season to see where this goes. I hope it has a point, or I hope it has a new plot to deal with instead of just a weird like get the baby to the cutscene point for the next part of the cutscene to happen, like the second season did. I don't know. Maybe Bill Burr will come back. That might be funny. Anyway, Book of Boba Fett sucked. Watch a recap of all of it until the last 3 episodes, I think it is, where Mando shows up. Watch those 3 episodes, and then watch Mandalorian Season 3, which will probably be done by the time I post this video. Because I'm very timely with my reviews of pop culture stuff. You know me. You come to me for the latest and greatest pop culture reviews of crap that I barely care about at this point. Might be a reason I'm taking me months to review things. I'm gonna go get drunk on space wine. Or maybe that little dude's hanging around. I'd tap that. I'd tap a lot of things. A lot of things. I tap Jar Jar. No shame in that. Not a bit of shame. A little shame. Significant amount of shame. But I would tap that. Tap, 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 tap. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. And he'll go, oh, Misa. Tap. Oh, Pizza Hut, Daddy. I'm going to stop now. Bye.